Hey guys, this is Trey. This is my first time making an Escort video. I hope to make lots of these in the future. This is just kind of a test, see if I like doing this, testing out the GoPro and such. So today I am replacing the starter solenoid on this, so I'm just going to do a full walkthrough on how to remove the starter and put it right back in. This is for the 1.8 GT motor. Also in the Mercury Tracer LTS and the Escort LXE. I know there's lots of videos out there on the 1.9, but I haven't found any on the 1.8, so I thought this would be a great time to make one. So let's just get right started into the tools you're going to need. So over here, I got the 12mm. You're going to need that for potentially your battery and battery mount. 10mm, you're going to need that to remove the battery tray. An extension. 14mm, those are for the bolts for the starter. Flashlight is really nice to have. And then ratchets. You can do all this with one ratchet if you only have that, like for example a 3/8. And if you have 1/4 inch sockets like the 10mm, you can also just get one of these adapters, which is really awesome to have. Or a 1/4 inch ratchet. This is really one of the easier jobs to do. It should only take a couple hours, if that. These are also really nice to have. It does the job of a ratchet, but it's cordless. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver or on an impact like I have, or an impact. It makes life a lot easier if you have an impact. But this can be done entirely with hand tools, no power tools needed. So the first step is always just disconnect the battery. Always remove the negative terminal first, because that's what gives the car power. And then you remove the positive. And then don't worry, I'll be cleaning this up when I'm done, because this is really disgusting and can cause a lot of other electrical issues. So now that that's done, you can go ahead and remove the battery mount. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab the cordless ratchet, because this goes by a lot faster when you have that. Alright, now that's out. I also really recommend getting one of these trays. It's really helpful to hold on to all your loose nuts and bolts. So you can just go ahead and set that to the side and then pull your battery out. This one doesn't have a strap, so it's a little bit difficult. And I just set it off to the side. Next, you're going to want to remove your battery tray. There's 4 bolts. There's one there, there, and back there. They're all 10mm, and yeah, it's super easy to do. So we'll go ahead and grab our 10mm with the extension. More. These back two are a bit of a pain to get to, or these two in the corner. Alright, the battery tray should come out if you got them out, the screws out all the way. Just like so. Mine is a little beat up because the battery's slightly oversized. Set that off to the side. Now that you have that out of the way, you can try and get the starter out if you wanted to like this, but it's a lot easier if you remove this intake hose, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So for that, all you need is your Phillips screwdriver or impact. Loosen the hose clamps. Like so, and the hose comes right off. Then be mindful of your idle air control hose, because that is still connected back here. You're going to want to get pliers and get that out. I might have forgotten pliers, but this hose clamp isn't all the way, so maybe I can get it off. we go. Now you can move that up out of the way. And now we have access to our top two starter bolts, which are there and there. I don't know if the camera can see them, but they're right here and here. Double check the 14 is actually the right size. And it is. On the 1.9s they use a 13mm for some reason. I'm not sure why they change it up, but they like to do that to you. There's a couple differences like that between the 1.8 and the 1.9. So now we'll go ahead and loosen these up. This wiring harness gets in the way a bit on this one because the ground strap is right there, but if you're careful, you can get your socket back there and on, like so. So now those should be hand loose and you can go ahead and just fish them out. I apologize if the camera's not getting a good view of this. The engine bays are cramped and hard to see in. Alright, there's one. And there's two. Alright, so now that you got the top two bolts out, there's only one more right down below that you have to get under the car for. It's way easier that way. You can theoretically do it from the top, but I really wouldn't recommend it like that. So I'll see you guys under the car. Hey guys, welcome under the car with me. So before I start with under here, I just wanted to mention that if you have a 1.8 and you've done the starter, you'll notice that mine is missing the bracket that holds up the intake manifold right here through here. So if yours does have that, mine doesn't, it's gone. There will be a bolt right there, and there will be two bolts on the block. I'm not sure if I can get the camera to see them, but they'll be down here, right on the other side of the starter. So I believe those are 14s. I'm not sure, that's just a guess based on what Mazda likes to use. Anyways, now that I've got that out of the way, I just want to say the last bolt you need is right there. Not this big one, there's one right above it. That's the last one, and you get the starter out. And then also you need to unbolt the wire that goes to the starter solenoid, which is right behind this wire, which you also disconnect like so. It is this right here. I'm not sure if the camera is going to get that with the angle it's at, but we'll see. And then also, I also recommend unplugging the wire for the oil pressure sensor, because that gets in the way and it's annoying. Just make sure to plug that back in, or else you'll have the most terrifying light, even more so terrifying than the check engine light on your dash. So let me go ahead and remove that. And get my ratchet up here. We're going to start with this bolt back here. It's a pain to get to though. I might have cracked it loose, we'll see. I hope I didn't. Oh. Worst thing about working under a car is trying to hold your head up and see under the car at the same time. This might not be the right size socket. It may change depending on what kind, or if your starter solenoid is new or replaced. I thought this was a 14, but it could be very, very wrong. Oh, nope, I got it. Alright, now you can slide this off. Oh, there's also a crush washer that goes on there. Where'd it go? It's right there, so you don't want to lose those. Now you can go ahead and remove the starter. Just gotta be careful to not let it fall on you when you get it off. So that should be pretty ready to come out. So we'll hold that up with my arm and also unthread the bolt. Almost there. Oh, my hand's getting tired already. Alright, there's the bolt. See if I can wiggle this starter out. There it comes. Alright, and just like that, the starter is out. You see the teeth on this are pretty shiny because the starter's been sticking so much. And there's the guy I gotta replace. And as you can see, this is the original Motorcraft starter the car came with from the factory. So I'm gonna get from under the car, replace the solenoid, and throw it back in and see what happens. Okay, so I'm reshooting this because I didn't do a very good job previously. I'm not using the Motorcraft starter because I realized that the bushing in here is really shot. It shouldn't do that. So I'm going to use this spare I had laying around that I didn't really want to use because it was cheap replacement. But I'm just going to go through how to remove and replace the solenoid. So this is the new solenoid, but it's two 13mm, not 14s like I thought. There will be one there and there. This one will be connected to the car wiring harness. But you remove that, and then you take that strap off. And then there's two T25s right here. The Torx bits or screws you need to remove, so like that. So that's loose, and then you can take the starter solenoid out just like that. And when you go to put the new one in, make sure you pay attention to which way this tab is facing, because, well, no, those screws are different. Okay. Well, yeah, this tab needs to be pointing the same way as the original one when it came out, which was like this. Then you go in here and you make sure that goes in front and clips down like so. And then you can go ahead and push it in, get the screw holes to line up. I really hope that it's not auto-rotating in the middle of me filming. That would be really annoying of the GoPro to do. Okay, that one is threaded, and that one is threaded, so now you can torque them down. They don't need to be that tight, so I don't hit them for that long. And you can go ahead and put this strap back on, just like so. Grab your crush washer and nut. And go ahead and tighten them. Just like that. And now you have a reassembled starter ready to go in the car. Hey guys, welcome back under the car. So I'm putting the new reassembled starter back in the car. So I'm going to take out the bolt that I threaded in there previously to save it, and I didn't lose it. Ow. That hit the camera. That was totally what I wanted to happen. So now we can fish the starter back in the way I got it out. It's a bit of a pain with the exhaust and shifter bar in the way. Alright. that's back in. I can grab the bolt I took out. Where'd it go? I put it next to me. Somewhere next to me. Where'd it go? Do not tell me I lost that bolt already. That would be kind of embarrassing. Okay, found the bolt. It was right under my head. That's kind of embarrassing, but let's get it threaded in. So that's threaded in. I'm gonna go ahead and do the wiring now. Take off the nut and crush washer. Harness, fish it on there. The crush washer on, and then the nut. Nut is the same as the other one for the strap on the starter. It is a 13mm. So the nice thing about doing that is if you tighten this now, that also means it'll help hold up the starter for you, which saves you a lot of arm strength because it's very tight under here and painful on my head to hold my head up. I'm just going to rest my head and hope y'all can see what I'm doing. So now I'm going to get the socket up there. And then also feel that these two are not contacting, which they, I don't think they are. If they were, that would be a big problem. So we don't want them to contact, or else bad things will happen. Now you can put this little clip back on. Just like that, you hear the click, you know you're good. You know what, no, I don't trust myself, I'm gonna angle that cable, that top cable just a little bit more out of the way. A little too close for my comfort, I don't want the... There we go. Oh, I'm much happier with that. Okay, now they're definitely not gonna be touching, right? Right, nowhere near each other. Perfect, just the way I like it. Alright, now I'm gonna get this bolt in more. Should probably use my my actual socket I have for this. Make things a little bit easier on myself. Again, it's a 14mm, all the starter bolts are. And just going through footage, and I saw the camera didn't really pick up where this bolt is, but hopefully now you can tell exactly where it goes. Right above the big 17mm that holds up the transmission to the engine. I'm not going to tighten this all the way because I need to get the top two tightened still. And if that's not lined up when I get this one tightened, then I'm going to have to come up here, under here, and loosen it anyways. Okay, that's almost all the way tight, so that's just where I want it. Yep, allows the starter to rotate just the way I want, and then don't forget that. That's still connected, so that's good. And now, we can go up top and do the top two bolts, and I will see you up there. Hey guys, back up on top of the car. Now it's come to my attention that these two bolts are actually two different lengths. So after looking at the starter for a bit, my best educated guess is that this goes on the outside and this goes on the inside portion. So I'm just going to try and get these two lined up. There we go, that one's... Oh, I thought it was threading, but it's not. Oh, it'll help if you hold the starter flat. There we go, now it's threading. So Now that's pretty tight. Get the other bolt in. Should just thread in without complaints. Again, it helps if you support the starter from the back side. So it helps the holes line up better, and then the bolts don't fight you in as much. So now they're at a point where I can use the ratchet to finish them on. Well, there goes the hose clamp for the intake. I'll get that while I'm back under the car. Oh, there it is, it's getting tight. There we go. Now we can do the other one, which is where it gets way finger loose again. So just thread that in until your fingers, it's too tight for your fingers. And you can take over with the ratchet. Oh yeah, gotten plenty of scratches today. This car loves to hurt me and make me bleed. The things I do for it sometimes, I don't understand why it treats me like this. Alright, get that nice and tight. Alright, those two top ones are tight. So I'm going to go under the car and tighten the last one. And I'm not going to record that, but I will see you guys when the rest of the assembly comes. Alright, I have returned with hopefully everything I need to finish reassembling the top side of the engine. So we're going to start with the intake hose. Make sure your idle air control valve hose goes on first. It's a lot harder to get to once the hose is on. So I think I need pliers for this, really. Oh, nope, maybe. Oh, there it goes. Alright, it's on. And put the hose clamp on this. This has a little slot that goes on, just like that. Although I don't like to go by that slot because then I can't get to the clamp. So just like that. Now you can get to this one, which is a lot more of a pain. Alright, that's all the way in like so. Now you can go ahead and tighten them. Don't strip that out. I'm on the verge of it. That doesn't need to be that tight. Alright, that's nice and tight. And I also pushed this in all the way. When I originally installed this hose, because it's new, it wasn't wanting to work right, so that's fixed. And now we can put the battery tray in. I apologize for the leaf blower that's right next to me right now. But let me grab that battery tray and put it on. Alright, get it in gently. Hit your positive terminal up here so it's ready and not buried when you actually need to put the battery on. And then get all the holes lined up. And then I like to thread everything in by hand before I do my tightening. Alright, now I can grab my cordless ratchet and tighten them all down. They don't need to be that tight. It is sheet metal. And you're only tightening down plastic, really. Alright, just like that. So the tray's in. Now, you're ready to put the battery in and tighten that down. Grab our battery. Just a little bit bulgy, it's fine. It's only a 7-year-old battery. Probably need to replace her, but I really don't want to, honestly. Alright, now we can grab our battery tie down. And the long side goes on the outside, the short side goes on the inside. Just hook that through the eye. And the other one. Also make sure your battery is put in the correct way. The positive side will face the front of the car, and the negative side is the back of the car. You can go ahead and grab your 12mm deep well or wrench if you only have that, and tighten those down. Alright, that battery's not going anywhere. So now we can take this off. No, not the extension, just the socket. Oh, no, I actually needed a socket. This radiator makes a really nice tool tray, as you can see. Alright, now do the positive terminal first. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and clean these. I'm sure everyone knows how to reconnect a battery. Alright guys, I got everything buttoned up, so we are going to find out if the starter worked. Alright, there we go. It's not sticking anymore. I'm glad it was the solenoid. And yeah, super easy. It only took me it would take me less than 2 hours if I wasn't filming this. It's super easy to do. Yeah, the car sounds great. Starter's not sticking anymore. And yeah, so hopefully the edited version of all this is much better, because this was horrible for a first time, but that's why I'm learning. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully it's helpful. And let me know if you want me to continue doing this kind of content in the future. Thanks guys, bye.